Hi guys, a very good morning. Welcome guys, welcome to today's class. Let's get started. Okay, so in the last class, we configured a Docker K8s server guys. Now on top of this Docker K8s server, we went ahead, we wanted to build and we wanted to deploy our entire application stack. So here, one second, Cosmic Plan. Okay, perfect. Connect. So let me just connect to the server. Let's do a quick recap. And in today's class, we are going to go ahead. We are going to understand how do we automate this process. Okay. So whatever the process that we have done now, building the image and going ahead, pushing the image to Docker Hub and pulling the image, running the Kubernetes container. So whatever it is now, we will try to automate it in today's layer. Okay. So guys, in the last class, so this is our code repository, gold site. Now in the code repository, what did we do? So first we wanted to, now you guys know traditionally how can you go ahead, how can you build and how can you deploy this application. But what is the first agenda? To convert this application into a Docker image. So in the last class, we installed Docker. Docker is installed. Docker images. Okay. Sudo chmod 666. Okay. So with the help of Docker images. So we built our custom image. We built our custom image. We ran this image with the help of Docker. Okay. We went ahead. We have ran this image with the help of Docker. So if I say Docker PS, I don't think so. We have any containers. Yeah, we don't have any containers. But instead of running these images with the help of Docker, we went ahead. We started running this with the help of Kubernetes. Okay. So here's a micro K8s cube serial get all. Look at this. So yesterday we were running the cluster. Okay. Yesterday we were running the cluster. Now I stopped the server. As soon as I started the server, again, my Kubernetes cluster is up and running. My Kubernetes cluster is up and running. And for this cluster, in the last class, we went ahead, we have seen how do we go ahead, how do we configure, what do we call this? How do we configure Nginx script in order to run this cluster, and in order to expose this cluster, we have also seen what is the so-called, what is the server, guys? I'm sorry. I'm not able to recollect. Ingress. Yes, we have seen how do we go ahead, how do we configure ingress. Yeah. So this is exactly what we have done, guys. So in the last class, so we cloned the repository, we built the code. Yes, we went ahead, we built the code. Yeah, we created a custom Docker file, and with the help of this Docker file, we created our Docker image. Okay. Now we went ahead, we pushed this image. Where did we push this image? We pushed this image to the Docker Hub. Okay. So where is the Docker Hub? Let me go to the Docker Hub. Sign in. Username. Password. Guys, yesterday we also created some scripts, right? Yes.
For Kubernetes.
For Kubernetes, but why can't I find them? We created deploy.yaml script, and we
Service.
created ingress script, and we created service file also, right?
Yes.
But why isn't, where are the scripts? Is this the same server? I don't have any servers apart from this. Did I accidentally delete scripts by any chance? No, right? Not possibility. CD list. Q. Okay, no problem. Install microgates. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just going to do the same thing, guys. I'm just going to go ahead. I will just perform the same action. But here, let me just run the alias command for microgates. Where is alias? Okay, anyways. So rather than saying microgates kubectl, I'll say alias kubectl is equal to micro k8s kubectl. And now if I say kubectl get all, this is perfect, but I'm surprised. Where are my scripts? Okay, anyways. So guys, here we went ahead. We have created a deployment in the last class, but I'll just go ahead. I'll just delete the deployment. So I'll say kubectl delete deployments. Okay. I just went ahead. I just deleted a deployment, and there is a service also. So I'll say kubectl delete service react. Deployment is deleted, service is deleted, everything is deleted. So here, first we'll create a manifest file. So k8's manifest file. Deployments. I'll just Nginx deployment containers. Yeah, I'll just go ahead. I'll just take this. So we created a file called as react-deploy.yml, correct? So here, first name, we're going to call it as React deployment. React deployment. Everything remains the same, but instead of app, wherever I'm using Nginx, I will just replace this with React. React. And what was the name of the image, guys, that we built? React image. What is the image name? Where is that? Docker Hub. Akiran Red Gold React. Yeah, this is the image name. And what is the version? Version 1. Okay, version is important. Version is important. Colon version 1. Okay. Now I'll just save this. And for this, we need a service file. Service file. Okay. Gates declarative. Service. So I'll say vi react hyphen service.yml. So we created a service file. Why? To expose the service. So name is going to be React service. Yeah, the app is going to be React protocol TCP port 80. Here also it's going to be 80. Save it. Now, very simple. So what I'll do, I'll just run this. So I'll simply say kubectl apply -f react deploy.yaml. So first, sorry guys, kubectl. Okay. So it says deployment created, kubectl get all. It went ahead, it created a deployment. Now, to expose this, we need to create a service. So I'll say kubectl apply -f service.yaml. Service is created. Now you see React service is created. So internally,
Sorry, I don't understand.
internally, we are able to access the app website created using React app. Now you just want to expose this. Again, you can go ahead. You guys can create a nginx file, sorry, ingress file. So what is Ingress? Ingress is a service that will go ahead, that will help you to expose your internal services to the external endpoints. So here, you just need to go ahead, you just need to mention your HTTP host name and what is the service, what is the name of the service. So the current service is React service, what port it is exposing. It will go ahead, it will directly expose it to your endpoint. Okay. But this is not what I want to do. Now, what I want to do is now here, guys, now pay attention. Now, whenever there is a change in the code, whenever there is a change in the code, what should happen? The the image should be built. Okay, the image should be built. So you have the Docker file ready, right? So change in the code, the image should be built. The image should be updated on top of the GitHub repository. Are you guys getting the point? The image should be built and the image should be updated on top of GitHub repository. This is the first requirement. First requirement. Followed by that, the second requirement is that as soon as the image is updated, again, there should be another script that should go ahead, that should run, that should go ahead, that should, what it should do is, it should pull the changes and it should start deploying the changes. Got it, right? So this is my requirement, guys. This is my requirement. It should go ahead. It should perform the same action again and again. Okay. So now here, what I'm going to be going ahead, what I'm going to be doing is to perform this action, I will go ahead, I will create a Docker file, or sorry, I will create a simple script file. Okay, so what is a simple script file? Okay, so let's say we have the code repository here. So out of the code repository, I will, whatever the steps that I want to perform, no? So let's say, I'll just open the code repository here. 1 second. This is a code repository goal site. Now in this, if I go to source code, index.js, this is fine. App.js, in public. Okay, let me get public. In the HTML file, now look at this, guys. Website created using React app. If I go to assets, yes, let's see. It's okay, no problem. 1 second, I think I need to look into this page. Components. Goal setter, modifier, goal. I'm just looking for the actual landing page. Why? Source pages, home page. Yeah, there we go. So where is it navigating? Component sliders announcement. Login. This is fine. Audit. Register. Yes. Gold site. Source code. Components. Gold letter navigation bar. Okay. Looks like this is too long, too large to just check out. Okay. So let me just check out the code here. So I'll say CD gold site. This is the code, guys. This is our actual code. So I'll say CD source. In the source code, again, you have different files. Okay. So I don't want to go ahead. I don't want to bother the code. I don't want to go ahead. I don't want to modify the code here. But what I just want to show you is now imagine the developer modifies the code, guys. So whenever there is a change in the code, now the change, I will directly show you how to integrate the change when I'm integrating with Jenkins. But here, so whenever there is a change in the code, I want a script to be executed. So we should go ahead, we should execute a script. So first, what I'll do is I'll just create a simple script. I'll go ahead, I'll write a simple script. So I'll say vi. So the first script I'll call it build.sh. Okay, build.sh. So here, guys, now I'm going to start by adding the bash signature. I'll say bin/bash. Okay. So the first thing that I want to do is on top of this script. Now, so what I want to do is first, I want to pull all the changes that have been updated. So imagine whenever there is a change in the code, I want to pull the changes. So what is the command, guys? The command is pull, right? Pull, git pull and the code repository. Got it? So here, if I say, or I can say git clone also. I can say git clone also. So 1 second. I'll just exit this. So gold side. So here, if I say git pull the code link, and if I hit enter, not a git repository. Okay, if I say clone again, so it says destination path already exists, guys. So it went ahead, it already cloned the code. So what you have to do is now, whenever I want to go ahead, whenever I want to write a script now. So in this script, first you have the Docker file, guys. So make sure the Docker file should always be updated on your central GitHub repository. Okay, you should not just always keep the file on your local GitHub repository. So here, first I'll say CD gold site. In this, we went ahead, we customized a Docker file now. So this Docker file, what I'll do is I'll just push it back to GitHub. Okay, I'll push it back to GitHub. So how do I push it back? If I say git remote -v, the repository is ready. Now I'll say git status. So first we need to add and commit. Yes, you see Docker file is pending. So I'll say git add Docker file git commit -m Docker. So I'm saying Docker file. So this Docker file has all the settings that needs to be that needs to perform the build and deploy. Okay. It says, okay, I need to configure my user profile, guys. So 1 second. At example.com, I can just give dummy details. No problem. I'll just give this dummy details. Okay. Now committing is done. Now I want to push, but when I want to push, they will ask me for a personal access token. So what I'll do is I'll just sign in. Second. Now I want to push, I need a personal access token here. Settings. Personal access token, classic. Care card. See. Owner, I'm the owner. Expiration 30 days. Public repositories. Or I can just select all repositories. Generate. Now I'll just go ahead, I'll just copy this token. I generated fine grain, huh? No problem, doesn't matter. So now if I say git push --- all get a canned token. I thought permission in it. So when I'm going with personal access token, guys, again I have to modify permissions. One second, I'll just delete both the tokens here. I just want a classic token. Yeah, I just want a classic token. Generate new token, classic. So classic means you don't, I mean, you get very minimum permissions. Fine grain means you guys can go ahead, you guys can micromanage, guys. Micromanage means for each and every repository, I can create a particular token. But here, general token, so you guys can use one single token for all the repositories. Git push. All right, so now it is pushed. Now, I'll go ahead. I'll write a simple script, guys. I'll go ahead. I'll write a simple script. So I'll say cd. Build.sh. Okay, I'm writing build.sh. No, I'll say build.sh. Okay, so in this script, first, what I'll do is, I'm gonna say git clone the link. So first, always clone the code repository. Sorry, first remove the code repository. Sudo rm-rf. So the previous code repository is there, right? I want to go ahead. I want to delete the repository. So what is the name of the repository? Gold site. Sudo rm-rf gold site. Okay, so it should delete the repository. Then I want to clone the repository fresh. Why? Because whenever there is a change, I want to clone the repository. Once I clone the repository, then I want to go ahead, I want to cd into that particular repository. Okay, so I'll say cd into what? Gold site. Okay, so this will do what? This will go ahead, this will bring all the changes. Okay, it will go ahead, it will fetch all the changes. Now, in this gold site, what do we have, guys? Inside this gold site folder, what do we have?
Docker file.
We have the Docker file. No? Where is this? Gold site. You have the Docker file. Now, in the Docker file, what you have? You have all the commands. But what is the command to run the Docker file? What is the command to run the Docker file? So I'll just add sudo here everywhere. What is the command to run the Docker file? Simple. Sudo docker build, okay, -t, and I want to tag it. Directly with my repository name, right? So I'll say Akiran Reddy / gold react app latest. We'll always keep the tag to latest. Okay. Dot. Once it builds the image, then what I want to do is I want to push. So sudo, I'll say Docker push. So we already logged in into Docker, or we have to make sure that you have to log in into Docker. So I will just copy this image and I'll say push. That's it. Very, very simple file. But here I'll say, make sure to log in into Docker before push. Got it? So now I'll just save this. Now we created a build.sh file. So we have build.sh, cat build.sh. We have the entire script, but we need to give permissions. So I'll just chmod 777 build.sh. Okay. Now guys, now if I run this file, let's see what happens. Okay, let's see what happens. So first, Docker images. Okay, so you have a couple of images, guys. And if I say Docker ps-a, we don't have any containers. So first, guys, let's say I want to delete all the images. Okay, I want to delete all the images. So how can I go ahead? How can I delete all the images? Got it? How can I delete all the images? So you have a command called as Docker sudo. I don't have to use sudo, but anyways, Docker image prune -a. So what does this image prune command will do is, if any images are not used by Docker, no, it will delete it. If any images are not used by Docker, it will go ahead, it will delete it. Got it? Enter. Let's see how this works. You see? Yes. Now you see what happened, guys. Now you see what happened. It went ahead. It went ahead. It deleted images. Actually, we don't have to delete images because every time it will go ahead, it will build images from the latest tag, right? But anyways, now we don't have any images. And also look at the last time when this code was cloned, guys. This code was cloned on May 12th. May 12th is today only, right? So sorry, yesterday, May 13th. Cool. So now let's run the script. So I'll say /builder.sh, enter. Let's see what happens. Goal site already exists. Yeah, that is exactly what I asked to delete, right? 1 second. Already exist. It says the first error. 1 second. Why is it? Cat build.sh. Slash delete everything. No, delete everything. Gold site. Okay, then clone it, then cd. All right, let's try. /build.sh. The legacy builder is depreciated and will be removed in future use. Unable to prepare constructs. It's a very simple script, but why is it throwing error? 1 second, guys. Let me just check it out. Is it case sensitive? It is case sensitive. Yes. Oh, sorry, guys. Spelling mistake. You see this, right? Spelling mistake. So here, okay, but it actually went ahead. It actually, okay, it didn't. Okay, okay, one second. Vi builder.sh. Now I'll say gold site. CD here also. Gold site. Oops, sorry. CD. So make sure the spellings are correct, guys. Gold site. Okay. Capital S, capital S. Yeah. Now I'll just go ahead. I'll just save this. Now let me just try to run this. You see, guys, it's cloning the code, fresh code, and then it is going inside the particular repository and it is building my code, guys. So it is executing my Docker image from node as a build machine. So it will perform all the steps. It will go ahead, it will perform all the steps. So every time I run this script, every time I go ahead, every time I run this script will go ahead, the script will execute the same output. And here on the Docker Hub, now the last image was updated 24 hours now. So we'll just wait and watch. We should see a new image that should be updated automatically. It is building the image, it is performing the actions. Same steps what we did yesterday, but I'm going ahead, I'm executing this actions. I'm executing this actions from where? From my local server. Via script. That is important. So it's almost done building the image, guys. And here also pay attention. Last push 24 hours ago. We'll just give it a quick refresh. 1 day ago. So no change till now, no problem. Waiting. Denied requested access to the resources denied. Okay. So looks like I did not log in into Docker, guys. I did not log in into the Docker. So here I can simply say Docker login. Login succeeded. Now again I can run this. Request to the access to the resource is denied. Why? Tagged, that is fine. Akiran ready / gold react tab, that is perfect. Vi build.sh sudo docker push. Just logged in into the Docker, right? Okay, no problem. Once I'll just try to push from here. So first, let's see if the image is ready. So if I say Docker images, you see, guys, we have the image ready. We have the image ready. Okay. Okay, then ready slash gold data. Okay, perfect. Now here, if I say Docker push, the image name colon latest. Okay, it's getting pushed from here. It is going ahead. It's getting pushed from here. So if I refresh, you see, guys, image is updated less than a minute ago, but it is not getting pushed from the script. Why? Sudo docker push. What was the error again? 1 second, guys. Dot slash build dot sh. Save it. Okay. Dot slash build dot sh. Why am I getting this? You're not supposed to get this. So Docker Home is not supporting. So, okay. This is my username. This is correct. This is a username for the hub. This is correct. Okay. Docker logout. Let me log out. Docker log. Username. So my username is ready. Password. Perfect. Login successful. If I say I try to run it as sudo because it is trying to run it as a root user. So I'm guessing that is why it's not trying to. So the simple difference is if I'm trying to push as a normal user, no Ubuntu user, it is taking. But in the file, what was there? Sudo was there. So sudo means I was trying to push as a root user. It was not working. But now if I try to push, let's see. It should simply not get access denied error. That's it. Okay. There you go, guys. The problem was when I was trying to push, no, there was sudo. Sudo means it's a different user, right? Sudo means it's a different user. Sudo means what? Root user. But I logged in into Docker as what user? I logged in into Docker as Ubuntu user. So that is why push was not working from here. So I just removed sudo. Now I'm able to push. So guys, now whenever there is a change in the code, okay, if I just run the script, what the script will do, it will clone the code, it will build the image, it will push the image to the Docker Hub. Okay, now the image is updated to the Docker Hub. Now what is the next part of the job, guys? Can somebody tell me what is the next part of the job that we need to automate?
We need to run this file automatically with the help of Jenkins.
No. Let's automate it here on the local server first. Then we will take it with uh, uh, Ansible and Jenkins. So first, what did we do? We built the image, right? Yes or no? Yes, we built the image. Now, aren't you supposed to also deploy the image with Kubernetes on the same server? Yes, kubectl get all. So you have your containers. Now, the idea is the old deployment should be deleted. The old deployment should be deleted. And we should create a new deployment that will go ahead, that will run the new files. So for this also, what we'll do is we'll create a script. Call it as deploy.sh. In this deploy.sh, we will go ahead, we will write some steps, okay, where I will say once the build.sh is done, this deploy.sh should perform. So what this deploy.sh should perform is whenever there is a change in the image, it should simply go ahead, it should simply replace and update the file. It should simply go ahead, it should simply replace and update the file. So this is what I want to go ahead, this is exactly what I want to perform. Okay. So image is updated on the Docker Hub, but that image should also be updated where it should also be updated in my deployment file. So from here, once the image is updated, we will go ahead, we will see how the Kubernetes can pull the image and what changes Kubernetes can perform. Got it, guys? Okay, same thing. We will also go ahead, we'll also create a script file for this same thing. And once the script file is ready, so we will go ahead, we will see how to run the same script file from Ansible. So from Ansible, what we'll do is this build server will connect to Ansible, and whatever the operations I want to perform like playbooks, and the Ansible server will connect it with Jenkins. So the playbooks, whatever will execute from Ansible will be executed from Jenkins, and then Jenkins will be connected to GitHub directly. So whenever there is a change in the code on GitHub, GitHub will trigger Jenkins. Jenkins will go ahead, it will trigger Ansible. Ansible will run the playbooks. Playbooks will go ahead, it will trigger our script. And we have two scripts. First script is build the code. Second script is deploy the code. So first we are creating scripts. Then we'll configure with Ansible, Jenkins, and GitHub. So with this, you get a complete knowledge on how things are organized together, or how all the services, all the applications are connected together with one another in order to achieve complete CI/CD environment. Got it, guys? Clear till here? Any questions? Clear till here? Any questions? Kindly let me know. Good to go? Okay. So we'll take a pause here. So today we have created a build.sh script. Tomorrow we'll create a deploy.sh, and same thing, we'll create an Ansible master server. We'll connect this server with Ansible. We'll execute the same operations via playbook. So tomorrow we'll finish deploy.sh and Ansible. And in the next class, we will finish the integration with Jenkins. Got it? Okay. All right. So here, guys, this is where you also have terminologies like blue-green deployment. Now here, I have one service. So what I can do is I can create another service. So this is React service. Now, we can create another service, test service. Okay. Or I can just create another deployment file, create another deployment image, create another image that I want to deploy, create another deployment, create another service. Now, then I will have two services. So let's say one is blue, one is green. So now, whichever I want to deploy, I will just go ahead, I will just replace the cluster IP addresses. In the ingress file, I will just update the service name. It will modify it, blue-green. Then you have also something called as canary deployment or round robin deployment. We will also talk about it. We'll also talk about it. All right, clear? Okay, so work on this in tomorrow's class. We'll finish on deployment script file, and we'll also finish on Ansible, integration of Ansible with playbooks. Yeah. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow.